welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, share this video, and turn on the notification bell because you'll be the first to be notified whenever I post a video. So today we are drafting a trouser pattern and I'll be making a short just like this one. So if this is something you're interested in, stick by and let's go into the tutorial. So here is my pattern paper, my measuring tape, ruler, marker and scissors. So I'm going to be setting every other thing aside and work with the ones I'll be working with now. From the top of my paper, I'm going to come down by half of an inch. I'll make a point there and rule a straight line across. This is going to serve as my starting line, and it's on this starting line that I'll be inputting my waist measurement. So that is what you're seeing me do here, ruling a line across at the top of my paper. Now from the top of my paper, I'll be inputting my other body measurements. So from my waist to my hip is 8 inches. From my hip to my crotch is 12 inches. So I'll mark 8 inches there. Then crotch is 12 inches for the crotch. Then the length of the trouser I'm making is 20 inches, but I'm marking 22 inches because 2 inch is for the hemming allowance, for folding the down part. Now I'm going to rule a straight line across all the points I've made. Now for this crotch line, most times 12 inches is perfect for all body sizes, but sometimes it can be 11.5, it can be 11 inches. Just tell the person you're making it for to sit down and measure it on the person. All right, now I'm going to label this as my waistline, my hip line, the crotch line, and the length of the short. Next, I'll be getting my midline. So from the end of my paper, I'm going to be coming in by 10.5 inch. I'll mark a point there. I'll go to my waistline, mark a point, 10.5 inch. This is to just help me get a straight line downwards. This is my midline, all right? So go ahead and determine your midline. Ensure whatever you're marking to get your midline, there is enough space at that side to contain your hip measurement. So I'll label this as my midline. All right. Now I'm going to be getting the crotch curve. So this crotch curve is going to be sitting on the crotch line. All right. So for the crotch curve, I'm going to be determining my A and B. How do we get A and B? A is my hip measurement divided by 12 plus 0.75. While B is my hip measurement divided by 16 plus 0.75. Now for me, my hip measurement is 38. So my A is 38 divided by 12 plus 0.75. While my B will be 38 divided by 16 plus 0.75. This 38 is like the circumference, the round measurement of my hip. Okay. Now for me, my A is 3.9 and B is 3.1. This is after dividing it. This is what I got. So get yours as well. Then now the A I'll be inputting on my crotch line will be 3.9 and the B I'll be inputting will be 3.1. So on this crotch line, from the middle line, not from the end, please watch where I'll be placing my tape. From the middle line, I'm going to mark 3.9 and I'll label it as my A. Now I'll repeat this A on my hip line as well. This is to just guide me to rule a straight line all the way up. So our A, the point we made as A, we are going to rule it all the way to hit the waistline. So this is it. Now from A, I will measure B. I will input B. So my B is 3.1. I went ahead to input 3.1 there and labeled it as my B. Now on the hip line, I'm going to come down at A on the hip line. At A, I'll come down by 0.75. So watch where I'm placing my tape. I'll mark 0.75 there. Now from that 0.75, I'll just make a curve to meet my B. Make a curve to meet my B. So that is what I've just done. Next, I'll be inputting my round knee measurement on the length of this short. My round knee measurement. If you're making this for a trouser, extend the length, input your round knee measurement, get your round ankle measurement, input it and just connect. So for me, my round knee measurement is 20 inches. I went ahead to divide it by 2, so I got 10 inches. So what I have there is 10 inches. Then I'm going to be adding 2 inches to it. This is to not make it too tight on my knee. So what I have there is 12 inches. Now, on the midline, I'm going to input 6 inches to the left, 6 inches to the right, making it 12 inches. So I'll mark 6 inches to the left, 6 inches to the right from the midline, okay? Now, from B, I'll connect to my knee. So, this is what we'll have. Now, I'm going to be inputting my body measurement. So, to input my body measurement, I will have to start from my A line, not from the midline. From my A line, I'll start inputting my body measurement, not from the midline. So my waist measurement is 28, divided by 4 is 7. I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance and 1 inch for that, so that will be 9. So I'll go ahead and mark 9 inches from my A line. See where I'm placing my tape. Now my hip is 38, divided by 4 is 9.5. 1 inch for sewing allowance is 10.5, so I'll mark 10.5 there. Next thing I'll do is I'll connect from my waist to the hip. Alright? Then from the hip, I'll connect all the way down to the length of the short I'm making. So if you have a curve rule, you can use it here. But I'm working with my free hand because I don't have one. So now we are going to be inputting the dart. So the dart is sitting directly on the midline. So I'm just going to take half inch on both sides of this my midline. Then the length of the dart is 4 inches. I'll mark 4 inches there and make that shape like a triangle that is facing downwards. Alright, so now we are done with the front. We'll be setting it aside for now. We'll still work on the pocket area for the front, but let's set it aside for now. We'll do that later. I'll just cut this out. Remember, when cutting this on your fabrics, at the crotch area, that curve area, add half of an inch for joining allowance. So that is what I did while cutting it here. You see, I didn't cut exactly on the line. So we are done with the front piece. I'll bring in another sheet of paper for drafting the back part. All right. So now, just like I did for the front, I'm going to first come down by half an inch from the top of my paper. So I'll make a point and rule a straight line across. That's the starting line, okay? This is where the waist measurement will be. Now from there, I'll be inputting my body measurement. So from my waist to my hip is 8 inches, the crotch 12 inches, and the length of the short I'm making 22 inches. 20, then 2 inches extra for folding. And I'll rule a line across it. Okay, so mind you, this short is not exactly on my knee. It's on the thigh. So what I measured at the downside is my round thigh measurement, the thigh measurement, okay? So if you're going to be making this for a well-fitted trouser, you have to measure your round thigh, measure your round knee, and measure your ankle. Next, I'll be labeling the lines as my waistline, my hip line, crotch line, and the length of the short I'm making. Okay, then next we'll determine our midpoint. That's our midline. From the end of my paper, I'll come in by 10.5 inch, just like I did at the front. Remember, whatever measurement you're using to determine your midline, make sure it is wide enough to take in your hip measurement divided by 4. All right. Now I'll just rule the midline all the way to the top and all the way to the down. And I'll go ahead and label it as the midline. Now for the crotch curve for the back. So to determine the crotch curve for the back, there's a slight difference from that of the front, because we're going to be using the front measurement to work on the back. All right, unlike how we did it for the back. So please pay attention. Now for the back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide my A for the front by 3. That is, I'll divide 3.9 by 3. 3.9 divided by 3 is going to give me 1.3. Now I will now input my B, which is just the same as the B for the front, which will be 3.1. Next, I will divide my B by 2 to get my B2. So B divided by 2 will be 3.1 divided by 2. It will give me B2. So for the back, we are working with 3 measurements. We are working with A divided by 3, which is 1.3. Then we are working with 3.1, which is B. And we are working with 1.55, approximately 1.6, which is B2. And our B2 is B divided by 2. Please, this place might be a little bit tricky as well, but it's easy. All right. Now from the midline, I'll first input my A. And my A is A divided by 3, which is 1.3. So I'll mark 1.3 there and label it as my A. Now from the A, I'll input my B, which is 3.1, just like we did with the front. So I'll mark 3.1 there and label it as my B. Now remember, our A line, we always rule it all the way up. So I'll mark that 1.3 as well on my hip line to guide me to rule a straight line all the way to hit our waistline. Hope we understand this. So my A divided by 3 is ruled all the way up. Now from B, I'm going to measure my B2, which is B divided by 2. So I'm going to input 1.6. From B, I'll mark 1.6. Remember, from A, we measured B. And from B, we measured B2. Now, on B2, I'm going to come down by 0.25. I'm going to come down by 0.25. All right? So that is what we have there. Now, to draw the curve for the back, it's totally different. I'm going to divide whatever my crotch line or your body rise, the body rise, it can be called body rise as well. So whatever it is, I'll divide it by 2. Remember, what I used is 12 inches. So I'll divide 12 inches by 2, and that is going to give me 6 inches. So just fold your tape this way, determine half of 12 inches, and what I have there is 6 inches. So on the A line, I'll mark 6 inches, which is half of my crotch length or body rise. So at that point where I marked that 6 inches, that is where I'll be making my curve. Don't forget, divide the length you use for the crotch by 2 and make your curve. You remember, for the front, we made the curve by coming down by 0.75 on our hip line. But here, we are making the curve from half of whatever our crotch is. So that is what I did there. From that 6 inches, I'm making a curve to come down and hit my B divided by 2. Now I'm going to be inputting my round knee measurement or my thigh measurement. Okay, I'm going to be inputting my thigh measurement. So just like I did for the front, from the midline, I'll measure 6 inches to the left, 6 inches to the right. Because my round thigh measurement is 10 and I added 2 inches to it for ease, so it wouldn't be too tight on me. So from my B2, I'm going to connect all the way down to hit the length of the short. Now I'm going to be inputting my body measurement just like we did for the front. We'll start inputting the measurement from my A line. So if you're yet to subscribe at this point, hit the subscribe button, like, share this video, okay? And don't forget to turn on the notification bell, all right? So now for my hip measurement. For the hip measurement, I'm starting from where the curve is touching my hip line, not from my A line, please. From where the curve is touching my hip line. So my hip is 38 divided by 4 is 9.5 plus 1 inches is 10.5. So I'm placing 10.5 on where the curve is touching my hip line, and I'm putting my hip measurement. All right, hope we understand it. Now I'm just going to connect from my waistline to my hip line. This is tricky, all right, but it's easy. Just pay rapt attention to what I'm doing and you understand. So I'm just going to connect. Then from my hip line, I'll just connect all the way to the length of the shirt. So I'm connecting all the way down. Next, I'm going to be inputting the dart. Before then, I would input the zipper. So for the zipper, that's if you want your zip to be at the middle, all right? So for the zipper, I'm just going to mark 2 inches, and the length of my zip will be 6 inches. So it will stop right where I started my crotch curve. So I'll just rule a straight line downwards, and that will be for the zip. I'll just label this as the zip. So that's where the zip will be. Next, I'll bring in my front piece so that I'll use it to determine the point where I have my dart, so that I can input the dart, because the dart for the back is not going to be sitting on the midline. It has to sit wherever the dart for the front is. So I'm just going to use it to mark the point where I have the dart. So I've gotten that point there, and I'm now going to take my dart on that point. So half inch on both sides. The length of the dart is 4 inches. Use my ruler to rule it downwards, then make that shape, that triangular shape for the dart. So now we are done with the back piece. Next thing I'll be doing is to just cut this out, just like we did with the front, and we can bring in the front piece again and work on the pocket area, because the pocket is sitting on the front, not on the back. All right, remember I told you when cutting the crotch curve, add half an inch. That is going to serve as the joining allowance, so that you don't make the mistake on your fabric. So when cutting this on your fabric, remember to add half an inch on the crotch area for joining. So here is the front piece, and this is the back piece. So you can see the difference from the front and back is the crotch is actually wider, longer than that. That of the back is longer than that of the front. So that's the difference. And this is the back piece. All right. Next thing I'll do is I'll just set this back piece aside and work on the pocket area. So for the pocket, what I'm going to do is on my waistline, all right, I'm going to come in by 2 inches. But before then, let me bring in a fresh paper, because I'll be drafting the pocket on another paper. All right, now I'm going to come in by 2 inches. Look at what I'm doing, please. From that end, I'm coming in by 2 inches. You can come in by 2.5 inch. It depends on how wide you want the pocket to be. Now the length of the pocket opening is 6 inches. The length of the pocket opening is 6 inches. That's where the hand will be entering, where you'll be inputting your hand. Now I'll just make a curve this way to give it that shape for a pocket opening. Now this measurement I took here, I'll repeat it on this fresh paper I have. So first, I'll just rule a straight line. This line is just an imaginary line to serve as a guide. Now from that line, I'll measure 2 inches inwards this way and connect. Now the total length of my pocket is 11 inches. That is how deep I want my pocket to be, 11 inches. Now I'll measure whatever I have from that my waist to my dart. That's my dart line, from the end to the dart line. That is what I measured there. And for me, I have 5.5 inches. So I went ahead to mark 5.5 inches at the down part, 5.5 inches at the up side. And I'll connect with my ruler. This is how wide the pocket will be. So the length of the pocket is 11 inches. The width is 5.5 inches. It can be 6 inches. It all depends on how wide you want it to be. But I want it to stop at where that dart is. Now I have a square shape here because I've connected all the points. Next thing, I'm going to be making that pocket opening on this square, okay? Remember I said the length for the pocket opening is 6 inches. So I go ahead and mark 6 inches here as well. Then from that 2 inches which I came inwards, I'll just make a curve. Just the same curve I made. So that's the curve for the pocket opening. Now at this part, I'll make a curve as well because the down part of the pocket is not straight. It is curved. And we are done with the pocket. Easy, right? Next thing I'll do is to just cut this out and use this to cut out the pocket facing. So if at this point you've still not hit the subscribe button, please do so. Click the subscribe button, like this video, share this video, and drop a comment. I promise to reply all comments. Okay, so let's get a little bit interactive on the comment section. All right. Okay, so I'm done cutting. The next thing I'll do is to cut out the pocket facing. We are almost done, almost done, almost done. Okay, so I'll bring in another sheet of paper, place this pocket on it, just trace out everything I've done here. So the pocket facing does not have a pocket opening, is to just be straight all the way up. So I will not be making any curve, just rule a straight line all the way up, this way, this way, this way, this way. So I'm done, and I'll label this as my pocket facing and cut it out. Easy, right? All right, so this is the pocket. This is how it will look like, and here is the pocket facing. So when we are done, it is just going to sit this way on the front piece. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, share this video, turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new tutorial. We are almost done with this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial so far. The last thing we'll be doing for this tutorial is our band. Okay, so for me, my band, the length of the band is going to be 28 inches long. I'm just going to use this to explain. All right, so I'm just measuring 4 inches there, and I'm going to rule a straight line across. So you can either rule a straight line this way, just like I just did, and measure 4 inches upwards, divide the 4 inches and determine the midline. So what I have there is 2 inches. So I'm going to rule another straight line. So each box is 2 inches, and I'll just cut this out. This is because the wideness of my band will be 2 inches. I mean, the band is 2 inches, all right, but the length of the band is going to be 28 inches, which is my total waist measurement. So this is the band, 2 inches wide, unfold, 2 inches wide, unfold. So the length of the band is 28 inches. Whatever your round waist measurement is, or the circumference of your waist is what your band will be. While the width of the band is 2 inches unfold. So guys, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next tutorial where we'll be using this pattern to cut on our fabrics and make a beautiful short with it. So don't forget to stick by for the next tutorial. Hit the subscribe button. Hit it now. If you're yet to, drop a comment at the comment section. I'll be there to reply all comments. Like, share this video. See you again in my next video. Bye. So I'm just placing these to show you the difference. I'm done, okay? I'm just done. I'm done. We have the band, we have the pocket, we have our front and our back. So I'm done. Hi guys, bye.